Hey, hello, I'm just doing some setup still. Alrighty, let's get everything in motion. I've got my water here and a couple of snacks. I just gotta get... Oh, I pulled out a blanket out of storage, but it smells like closet. I bet it'll disappear over time. Whatever. I will officially start in a few more minutes. I promise I won't ramble on like the first episode. I just really stall for time a bit. Because I know people are getting off work. Or just need some time to realize the link is open. I mean, honestly, I'm not in too much of a hurry, but we'll see about getting started. Hey, 6:05, so it's in 1 minute. A little less than that. I gotta go. I can't do this quest with level 32 Black Mage. I'm still doing, Yokai Watch. That's still going on. I'm currently on Noko right now. Actually, how am I? I'm kind of just going through the collection one by one. So I'm got almost halfway through. Currently I'm working on Noko's weapon. Let's see, 3. I'll still need some more yokai medals after this, but those are easy to get. It's the weapon medals that are hard. I wonder if there's anything near me. Southeast. I bet today's episode might lead us to that ether. What is it? Current. Detects the current. I'm like, what does that say? You ever read something and then you have to read it like 3 times over because your brain just doesn't compute? It doesn't happen to me all the time, but it happens occasionally. What is this guy offering? Okay, so we will have to do that. I might do it off screen like I did with a lot of the other quests. So many of these side quests are, really interesting, and I highly recommend doing them. But if we, if we went through a series where I did all the side quests as well, we'd be here, we would still be in a Realm Reborn right now. And yeah, okay, so I am glad that we left off, because things are gonna ramp up on this story path line. But let's see, what do we do? So we did all of Mefra's quest, which went into Alagana, and Lise was like, I used to live there 20 years ago, and you know, when I was 5 or something. And we actually managed to get one person to join. Well, I guess he brought buddies. We don't. They're off screen somewhere. Mostly because Lee showed that she actually cared. Wow, who would have thought? But that quest line, I believe, was to showcase how those under occupancy, they have like two choices: die or die slowly. They either fight in the resistance and die, or they keep their heads low, just suffer constant abuse at not only Garlemald, but their own people who have sided with Garlemald. And it's shitty. As I recall, a lot of this is mostly countrymen against countrymen violence. Garlemald is shit like that. They just make the country itself just fight itself. Because they come up to some people and they say, you can have citizenry if you serve in the military and do all this blah 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 blah. You're still considered second class in Garlemald, because only true-blooded Garleans get that privilege. But the people they subjugate have the opportunity to I guess become Garleans themselves, but only in the sense that they get citizenry. But that means you gotta be shit to your own people. Like the skulls, you know, showcased and everything. There's gonna be more of that, but we'll get to that. This part, so we went up to Minago, and she's like, I want to deliver the news that you guys are gonna help us out. But we kind of ran into some patrols on the way here, but, you know, those were easy to take care of, we're fine. So Raubon's like, cool, awesome, everybody's like on page with us marching in with the Alliance and fighting some Garleans. But I believe Conrad, the leader, he can only really approve like his own faction. He doesn't have the authority to command every other resistance whatever to get with the program, but it seems like they probably might. Any extra battle hands on the field is probably appreciated, but, you know, everything's complicated. Everybody's gonna have their own opinions, and of course, we're gonna have to, like, listen to them. Alright, Raubon. We've been careful to avoid needless shows of force on this side of the wall, but that's all about to change, and when it does, you may be sure they'll send their new toys out to entertain us. I would ask you to participate in this operation, but from the look I see, it's a foregone conclusion. My thanks. He's like, I can see you already reaching for your katana. Per Pippin's plan, we need to turn East End into an Imperial graveyard. That's a little bit... I mean, I'm here to punch Nazis in the face, Raubon, but that's a little bit morbid. You're a dab hand at this, and I'd be a fool not to use you. Well... And then at the same time, Yorva's sitting there like, I do turn whole entire castrums into dead bodies. It's really funny how that happened. Head to the spot on your map right here. A patrol should be along shortly. Deal with them, then rendezvous with the rest of us at this location. Go well, Yorva. So it seems this section is just, fight Garleans. That's what the Resistance does. They fight Garleans. There's two things that Alamigo does right now. They fight Garleans, and then they fight each other. Just one of the two. I think, I remember some memes. Okay, I was like, that is definitely... Last time I was like, is that an A rank? And then it's like, no, everything's just literally so freaking huge here. They, of course, made enemies on the map super huge, so that the visibility is seen from the sky. I think they started slowly changing that, like, in Heavensward, because Heavensward introduced flying, but I think around this time, they were like, oh no, you gotta make the enemies, like, A-rank size. They're not gonna see it, and that's true, they weren't seeing it. But now it makes me nervous, because anything of that size is usually an A or S rank, and you're like, shit. Man, these guys are hitting hard. And it's not like I don't have good... I could probably, you know, get better accessories, but that's not... It's not bad at an eye level 60 right now. Okay, so then we gotta go back... Is this the Leshy part? I can't remember. Where am I? Oh. Oh no! I'm stuck! Okay. Wait, where does this thing... Oh, there it is. Right there. I just... Oh gosh, that A-rank's gonna make me so nervous. Like, I already could get in trouble with level 60 enemies in here. Alright. Yeah, you're gonna see me fumble because, again, it's been so long since I've had to traverse the map on foot. Now, I believe this might be Ralbani X, but I remember there was a couple of instances, but my memory is hazy. Yeah, that's right, walk away. Saw you try to do that. So... this might have been it. I thought it might be a little bit further on down in the storyline, but this is kind of what I remember. Ralbani X was a famous moment where, as you can see, there is an instance. You can tell by the rainbow shininess. You would see a ton of players. You might even see them lined up down the road. Like, they actually started forming a queue. Not that that did anything at all, as I recall. Waiting in line was not the solution. Mostly because nobody would respect that line anyways, because it was literally just a player... courtesy to do that, but I'm not even sure if waiting one by one. I do know a lot of it was that there was a funnel happening here. A lot of players were stuck here. If you try to talk to him, your game would crash, or the cutscene would just refuse to go. This is because the instance that Ralban's supposed to teleport you into, it was just too full. There's too many players, so like I said, there was like a funnel going on here, there's a chokehold, nobody could get past it, and of course, because they were all stuck here, more and more players, as they, you know, went about doing the one path with Mefrid, you know, eventually all they had left was this quest. So the problem kind of expounded upon itself. Exponential growth, if you would say. But yeah, that was the technical difficulty that was going on around here. I think it did resolve itself in like a day or two. I don't remember. I was not one of those people that I was like, oh boy, getting into the game and then like zip through everything. Especially after Heavensward, I was gonna take my good time with this. However, I do remember being stuck and just like trying to get in, and then eventually was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do some of these side quests over here. So I did the side quests, and then I'd already done Mefred's part, and then this part was still not accessible, is what I'll just say it was. So I remember just taking some alternate classes. I think I was really into Scholar at that time, so I was like, oh, I want to mess around with Scholar, see what changes they brought to Scholar, and then I remember doing side quests and like some fates, you know. But yeah, so this is the infamous Raubon EX. Somebody made an entire guide to Raubon EX. And I do, the most famous thing that me and Riss always quote is Leshy, where Raubon will summon Leshy. This Leshy, while everybody was gathered here, would start attacking people, because they were very close in proximity to its aggro. And so apparently, you know, defeating Leshy was part of the mechanics of defeating Raubon EX, but all went to plan then? Good. He's like, can we stop discussing about my horrid past? Our scouts report that a unit escorting the prototype weapon has left Castra Velodina. I'm gonna be tripping over that word. I'm like, I want to call it like Vidolnia or something like that. It's Velodina. The resistance is already in position, so we have but to wait for our guests to arrive. Yeah, so now we have to get into this. Yeah. This was that cutscene. I remember making it to like right here, and then it said like
grim for us
server crash.
Oh, how they doubted us. Yet here we are, right as rain, with fancy new toys to put through their paces.
Yeah, this guy. Acting like he's a main character.
Like all my name days have come at once.
That is also the second time he said that. And he got memed on so much. Like, he just it's like he's trying to make fetch happen.
Well, 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 if it isn't Garland's little troublemaker. I can't wait to see the look on Xenos' face when I bring him your head.
And you still look
That is,
terrible.
If my secret weapons here don't grind it into mush. Attack!
Okay, apparently I'm on the armor. Yeah, so Grimwald has beef with us after we defeated him when we woke Omega, you know, and Nero was like, borrow my car, and then proceed to like wreck everybody with his car, and then I think I parked it in the wrong place, and yeah. I don't know if Nero ever got his car back. Okay.
Now I've gotcha.
But, like, here's the thing with Grimwald, like, he is laughably, like, just the mook of the day, you know? He's that 1940s mook hanging out with the big bads, like, yo, boss! Let's get him! He's sleeping with the fishes tonight, and it's like, Warrior of Light's looking at him like, I'm sorry, if you want, like, revenge on the Warrior of Light, you have to, like, get in line. There are 5,000 people. I don't know what to call Grimwald. Like, he's like a B-list villain in this game. I don't even know half of his backstory. He is, from what I can remember and also from what I can just assume by looking at him, he's one of those conscripts, you know, like from another nation that they took. And they're like, you want citizenship? You want a Bugatti? You gotta work. Like, so, I believe he already has citizenship. Now he's just wanting to have higher positions of power or whatever. Oh no, a frickin' laser beam. But, anyways, I can only surmise that he got in trouble or whatever, when he did not kill the Warrior of Light. I don't know what to say to most of these guys that are siding with Garlemald. It's like, they're giving you impossible tasks, guy. Like, imagine that they're like, in order to keep your job, you have to kill the Warrior of Light. Like, that's super unfair. Oh, he's gonna say the line. He's doing his signature move. Thanks for killing all those guys, Rabban. I had it, but, you know. You should really be helping out Serpent Conjurer over here. He can't even get, like, one guy down. It's kind of embarrassing. Oh my god. These things are... There we go. You just pull them until they detonate. But yeah, Grimwald is, like, highly forgettable, honestly, in the cast. Because he's literally some guy. He's not important. He wants to be important, but he never will be. Because he can't kill Warrior of Light. He who fights and runs... What the? Who in the hells are you lot? We're 4 people! For al amigo! Let none escape! He's like, oh no, not 4 people, I can't do that. So, I think you just try to run away there or whatever, but we go together. So, this guy likes bombs. Oh wait, what am I doing? I don't need to be... I need single target this. That's also his shtick. Like, he likes bombs. So... I mean, bombs in this case is like self-detonating a Magitech Vanguard armor. So... I think we'll make it. I don't need to fret. I don't even think I'll have time to... Yeah. We just had like 15 seconds left. That was easy. Like, he's just laughable. He's just pathetic. I think that's the intention, but actually it's 100% the intention.
Oh! Damn it all! Miracles of Magitech design, my arse! I've passed harder stools than these piles of scrap.
Yeah, he also just says shit like that, too.
You'll pay for this. Mark my words, the next time we meet will be the last.
See, Ratana was so much cooler than that guy.
Aye, run and tell your viceroy. The day belongs to El Amigo. Yeah!
Yeah!
Okay, one of you is like really into. One of you needs to dial it down like only 2 notches. Just 2. Well done, all of you. I'd call this operation a resounding success, not a rounding. Can't say I'm surprised the Bull of Alamigo had an impressive military record before he went west, as I recall. Credit where it's due, Master Kemp. It was Marshal Tarupin who made this plan, and all of you, Resistance and Allies alike, Alliance alike, who carried it out to perfection. Aye, that they did. Not a single casualty, for which I'm grateful beyond words. We've lost a lot of guys. I've no doubt our comrades back at the Reach will feel the same. As will ours. It's been a pleasure, General. Until the next battle. Minago, I leave the Scions in your care. We shall return to the castrum, then. Yorva, Mistress Levier. It's so weird to call her that. Once more, you have my thanks. As Master Kemp said, until the next battle. That brute of an Imperial officer was a force to be reckoned with, wasn't he? I don't know. He was a bit of a mook, just a fool, mayhap. But he held his own against the Flame General. Oh gosh, that Leshies. Raubani X is still after me to this day. I'd heard the stories, but to actually see you in action, I almost found myself pitying the Imperials. Seriously, though, it was inspirational. I am... Oh yeah, I put the tag on. I am what you call an Imperial nuisance. But you must be tired of hearing that, huh? And the Realm Reborn was a bit ago. I'll keep it simple, then. Thanks for the help out there. Do you want a weapon? I don't need this. Is it cool? Or is it just generic? It's alright. Is there anything else I might need? I don't know. Is this one cool? Just for glamour, I'll take that. We're finally in the land where I could get some decent samurai stuff. Well, there's no reason to remain here any longer. Let's get back to the Reach. It might be worth it just to teleport there. A lot of land to cover out here. The maps get bigger and bigger with each expansion, I swear. Because Heavensward did have some big maps, but it did not feel as big as Stormblood maps did. You didn't have to take part in that operation, but you did. You went above and beyond what was asked of you without hesitation, and for that we owe you a debt. Our victory may not count for much in practical terms, but its symbolic value can't be overstated. People are gonna like us more than ever, and then people are gonna hate us more than ever. Alliance and Resistance fighters came together to face an Imperial unit equipped with Garlemald's newest weapons and smash them. The people will remember this day. Kinda like when I got those Pokemon cards. He's like, what about this? What? Where was this? Yorva's like, no, they're gone. The skulls have them. That they will, for it marks the beginning of something far greater than any single victory. The beginning of a campaign by United Eorzea to drive the Garleans from our lands. Our lands. Promises and platitudes be naught without action. But the Alliance took the field and risked their lives for our cause. I don't know, none of us died, so I guess we did risk our lives, but... To think that the last time Gridanian troops trod this soil was more than a century ago, during the Autumn War, and that was to defend against our invasion. Ours is a long and bloody history, to be sure, and it gives me heart to see that despite our acrimonious past, we can still come together for the sake of the future. Yeah, he was referencing that war I was talking about, I think in a couple of episodes. But yeah, Alamigo tried to take over Gridania. Gridania said no. And now they're over that, kind of. Nobody's really too much alive to really remember that, so they just got grandma's stories. Well said, Commander. No, everybody forget about that Autumn War. That didn't happen. Which is why I intend to go from village to village to spread the word of our victory in our new alliance. The people will flock to our banners. Just you wait and see. Yorva, Alize, I cannot thank you enough for your assistance. Do you want more weapons? Yorva's like, how am I going to hold all these weapons? Maybe I should just get the materia. I don't even know what I'm going to do with some of those weapons. I don't know what I'm going to do with that materia. No, not Medford. Conrad. Look at all these happy faces. We've been tricked before. Ever since the Titan thing from Realm Reborn, the Titan picture showed you coming back to the, Waking Sands and everybody's celebrating. That was a lie. So every time you see, happy smiling faces in the pictures, you're like, do you promise? Or is this like a trick? Owing to the efforts of you all, we have accomplished a great deal in a short time. The Resistance thanks you for your service, Scions. Oh hey, welcome back to the plot. See, operations here have been proceeding apace in my absence. Welcome back, brother dearest. I take it your efforts to gather new recruits was successful. Indeed, there were several amongst the Scions rank that were quite eager to take part in our joint endeavor with the Resistance, whom I am come to present. Commander Kemp, if I may. My name is Arenval Lenentius, a half-breed, as you can doubtless tell. I think he talks a little bit about this in A Realm Reborn, but, how do I put this? His mother was raped during the Imperial occupation. And he is half Garlean, half here. We don't see it because he takes great pains to cover it up, but his mother gouged a wound in his forehead. And so he covers it up with this white paint. He also keeps his bangs pretty low. But his mother had a psychotic break and believed that his Garlean third eye might appear on his forehead. It doesn't happen in half-breeds, like he says. Only purebred Garleans have the third eye in their middle, so that would be characters like Nero, Cid, Lucia, her sister Olivia. You know, that's how you know pureblood Garleans. They have that third eye. Now, Cid keeps his hidden mostly beneath these goggles because he just doesn't want to frighten Eorzeans. I also think he finds his purebloodness not something to be proud of. Nero will just bear his ass to anybody, and then of course Lucia covered hers because again she doesn't want Ishgard all nervous or whatever. But yeah, there we go. So there's Arenvald lore and a little bit of lore about Garleans. I'm here to fight for a free Alamigo, for an Alamigo where women like my mother are never made to suffer. I pray you grant me this honor. Yeah, he doesn't, even though his mother was kind of horrible to him, he forgave her a long time ago and decided that it was the Garleans that made his mother that way, you know, so. But anyways, you are a true-born son of Girabanya, same as me. This is not my honor to grant, but yours freely to take. Welcome, brother. With our swelling ranks and the aid of the Eorzean Alliance and the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, I believe we will soon be in a position to seize the initiative. Once our new recruits have received sufficient training, I will propose to General Alden that we draw up plans for an assault on Castrum Veladina. Then in the meantime, we will make what preparations we can. Last reminder about Arenvald, because this one's easy. He was the only survivor of his group after the attack on the Scions in A Realm Reborn. He was on another mission somewhere else. He wasn't present, so he didn't die. Oh god, I forgot about this song. Do I have to like talk over it? Am I gonna get copyright striked? So, I mentioned before that this tune is called The Measure of His Reach. This song was the national anthem of Alamigo. As you can tell by the lyrics here, that is not the original lyrics. I think this is called The Measure of Our Reach. So the Empire said, nice national anthem you got there. Mind if we rewrite the whole lyrics to be about the might of Garlemald and how cool we are? So this version of the song is Garlemald's. They literally ripped off the national anthem of Alamigo. Now we have this bitch.
Alliance forces have occupied Castrum Orients and taken up positions along the length of the wall. Our patrols have engaged their reconnaissance parties on site, but there have been no significant exchanges, save one. A unit tasked with field testing prototype Magitech weapons was attacked. The weapons were destroyed, with the unit sustaining near total casualties.
Near total? Go on.
He's like, not all of them. Depressing.
My lord, there was but a single survivor from the unit in question, which falls under my command. According to his report, they were ambushed by a contingent of Eorzean Alliance regulars, abetted by resistance insurgents.
A simple ambush and only one survivor. A fine day's work. The stubbornness to survive is not without worth. He may live. However, the 12th is no place for the weak.
He shall be relegated at once, my lord. As you say, the 12th is no place for cowards who count their lives more precious than the cause.
Indeed, indeed. We have no need of cowards.
My lord,
Cowards, who defer critical missions to their subordinates, who hide within their castra, never meeting their prey in battle, never staring into the whites of their eyes. Why, when confronted with a heretofore unknown icon, did we surrender the wall to the Alliance? Because my honored father, in his infinite wisdom, has not seen fit to grant us leave to march on their lands. Accordingly, we have extended an invitation to our neighbors. Gir Abania is where we shall host them. The field upon which we shall enjoy the sport of kings. Patience is paramount. Cornered animals may have spirit, but they are ultimately predictable and very poor sport. But if one dangles the promise of freedom before them while nipping at their heels to stoke their passion, then things become interesting. It is a delicate dance, one which asks much of my hounds. And so I put the question to you, my fellow huntsman. How shall we deal with these savages?
My lord, I have a proposal.
Silence, Alamegan! You do forget yourself! Only by the grace of Lord Van Baelsar were you afforded a place here, and that in name alone. We have no need of your proposals, savage.
This savage yearns to hunt her own. The floor is yours, Commander.
Thank you, my lord.
Yeah, so stuff is happening. They know we're here. Alright then, I've got duties to attend to. Mayhap we could assist you with said duties. Alfino, maybe you should wait until they... why do we volunteer ourselves like this? We are here to help after all. Alfino is the guy who was like, wait, teacher, you forgot to assign the homework. The three of you have been busy, so I will understand if you require time to rest. If not, however, it would seem sensible to assist our allies with their preparations. Yorva's looking at him like, I wish you weren't right. We'd be grateful for any and all help you can offer. If you ask around, I guarantee you won't want for work. Here's some stuff. There's still more to do. I beg your pardon? The woman who bested Gaius Van Belsar wishes to offer me her assistance. I don't think you understand how much I do. Like, do you need something delivered? Do you need a sack, like, hauled across the continent? Do you want somebody dead? I'll do it. I say this is highly irregular, though. I have heard, Reeves, like, hold on, let me roll that back. I say, this is highly irregular. Now I'm British. Though I have heard it said that you had a penchant for aiding the common man, in which case... Before the occupation, I was a humble historian. While my duties leave me scarce time for aught else, I think it important that these momentous events be recorded for the benefit of future generations. Primary sources are indispensable, and I have a mind to question a number of my fellow freedom fighters, ask them for the motivations for taking up on this cause and so forth. I think you're just gonna get a whole lot of angry people like they killed my family over and over again. You may take down their statements in this log, and Yorva, thank you for your service. Oh god. Yorva's like, great, I'm getting thank you for your service now. Now and ever after. He's like, oh no. I'm just gonna pick up all the quests around here. I was just a cook before all this. Simple fare, really. Had a chance to lend a hand and help feed some refugees one day. I took a liking to the fighters. They believed, you know? And there's always a need for cooks. Or at least people who can work with whatever foraging parties turn up. Like, oh, by the way, I have a quest for you. You want to help, do you? Seeing as I'm in no position to leave this stew pot unattended, could you go and ask Teb for a variety of herbs? 6 sprigs or so, whatever he's got on hand should suffice. It's not as haphazard as it may seem, depending on the recipe. It doesn't really matter what sort you add, so long as you add something. I'll be here when you get back. Let's see what she wants. You look like a strider in search of comrades in need. If so, I have a task for you. Yorva's like, so we're really gonna do this snakes thing? And she's like, yes. I am a trainer, and I was told to expect new recruits this day. Yet nary one has come. Perhaps they were given the wrong time or location? I do not know. They number 5 in all, these would-be warriors. Send them on to me, should you have the chance to find them. Going back to my questionings. Why? Why indeed? To save lives, perhaps. Or to make amends for the ones I couldn't. My father and my brothers were worked to death while building a castrum. What did it matter to the Garleans, yeah? So... more where that lot came from. After that, I couldn't keep on doing nothing. Yeah, like I said, your options are like... die or die when the Garleans come in. Like, it's either quick death or slow death. And maybe you might survive either one, who knows? Huh. Interesting that this one has like a symbol on it. Is that? No, I forgot that symbol. Anyways. I know, I'm late. But I had to say a prayer for my sister first. After what the Imperials did to her, death was a mercy. Yeah, that's another thing. This is like the third kind of hint. They don't say it outright, but they love to rape and pillage. The little Alamigo quests, again, they're subtle about it, but it's very clear. One of the girls, she was raped. Well, I guess she was raped by the faction out in southern Thanalan. That's other Alamegans. They're known as the Corpse Brigade. They're fucking lowlives. They, again, prey on their own people. Aren't you that Icon Slayer? Damn if I know why you'd bother asking someone like me why I joined the Resistance, but it's simple. If I wasn't fighting for Alamigo, I'd be fighting for the Empire. You either win them or not. And if you're with them, you may as well make the most of it. Food, training, citizenship if you live long enough. You'll die stealing someone else's land like as not. That's not a choice. But that's the choice. But me, I'd rather die here. Yeah, that is pretty much the choice you have to make. I guess I could just swim across. Like, a lot of the people who side with the Empire are like, surely leopards won't eat my face. And maybe you may be some of the lucky few that you get on the Garlean's good side. And the best you can possibly live is being kind of taken care of. Even as you can see in that cutscene with Xenos and the Imperial Tribunus. The Skulls leader there, who we saw in Mefred's storyline last episode, even though she's invited to the table, she's not welcome. She's Alamegan to them, even though she is serving the Empire the same way as them. So again, once she is 100% the leopards won't eat my face lady. That's her entire dealio. Why'd I join the Resistance? Well, if you must know, it was to avenge a friend the Imperials butchered before my very eyes back in Alamigo. We owned a stall in the markets, and a passing soldier snatched up a piece of fruit. He spoke out before I could stop him, only to get a foam of steel in the gut for his troubles. I found my way here, and that was that. Yeah, it's like, if you're a nobody, you keep your head low, and you just let them steal from you, or you just die. This is why I'm like, I don't get the... If you're going to die anyways, might as well go down fighting in the Resistance or whatever, but, you know. Oh, bugger, you weren't sit by the snake, were you? I heard 1 in 4 recruits doesn't live through their training. That can't be true, right? Oh, bugger. Oh, bugger. That's the, Ananta wanting, her recruits to actually come to her. I'm gonna get Teb over here. Herbs, is it? 6 sprigs of whatever's on hand. Afraid I can't spare that much. You'll take 2 and be glad of it. Okay. The remainder you'll have to gather yourself. Shouldn't be too much of a bother, though. You'll be surprised what you can find growing underfoot, even in the Reach. I guess we're doing collection quests. Alright, so we have enough testimony for this guy. Well met, Yorva. Have you spoken with the freedom fighters as I asked? Where'd I get this log? Oh, I guess he handed it over to me. She's like, oh, I wrote some stuff down in there. I actually don't know how to read or write, so I drew some nice pictures. As fascinating as they are varied. Is this a picture of a butt? Anyways, you have a knack for convincing others to bare their hearts to you. Yorva's like, I don't know why, I just sit there and I just stare, and then all of a sudden people just start spouting off whatever. Well, anyways, I could not have done better myself. Many years from now, when these tempestuous, you know, like as in tempest, tempestuous times pass into memory, their accounts will serve as a window into the struggle. We must never forget, my friend. Never. And you only got like paid $5. $5.50 for that. I got that, okay, yeah. I like that Teb couldn't be ours to like move and pick up, you know, stuff from this tree or whatever, but they gotta make Warrior of Light pick up stuff. Like, it's not a real quest unless you get to pick up stuff. Pick up stuff off of the ground. This is a rather large circle, though. How about this tree? Oh, here's one of the Ananta recruits. Ah, 1,000 pardons. So preoccupied was I by the question of whether Alamigo should be a monarchy or a republic that I neglected to attend my training. I'm sorry, but you need to think about other stuff. Your country is still so far from liberation that I don't think the question of if it should be a monarchy or a republic should be in your brain right now. How silly, I know. Until we drive the Imperials from our lands, the question is moot. Yorva's like, yeah, like I said. This guy's punching rocks. Huh? Training? Ah! I was so busy practicing to impress the others that I completely forgot. Okay. They're gonna be so impressed when they see me punch this rock. I guess it's upward. Herbs. Okay, there should be one more herb and one more recruit. The herb is over there. I'm gonna go swim. Now to find somebody who looks like a recruit. See, I was looking for Herb over here. Herb. I was looking for, you know, this lady's cooking supplies. But I didn't think to... Oh, wait. That's why it was... I was like, there's just somebody right here. The teacher calls for me. I see. We were discussing strategies for disabling Magitech armor, you see, and... Ah, yes, of course, there is no time. If you would excuse me. Yorva's like, please stop. My eyes are already glazing over. Ah, there you are. Got those herbs I asked for? Yeah, I guess that... Precisely what type of herb this is remains unclear, but the important thing is that it's green and fragrant. The Warrior of Light, everybody, they're like, I don't know what this is, but it's green and it smells. Thanks. That'll do nicely, and, sorry to impose upon you, miss. Thought you were another new recruit. Didn't realize until after that you were, you know, the person who saved the world and whatever. But to answer the question that's probably on your mind, yes, it's always like this. Never enough food or supplies to go around. All the more reason to be grateful when our countrymen can spare some for the cause, though that comes at a cost too. Too many villages, too many children more deserving than us. But a man can't fight on an empty stomach, can he? So we partake, as we must. And we never lose sight of the dream. Gotta never lose sight of the dream, man. All recruits are present and accounted for. My thanks to you, Strider. Not all appreciate the rigor with which I train my recruits. Some favor a gentler approach, as if the Imperials would be so kind. 'Tis a thankless job to teach, some say. But I say their survival is thanks enough. Fare you well. Oh, 63, and we're still in level 60 area. It'll change. It'll change soon. I thought that said Sweaty Resistance Fighter. Honestly, they could have called him Sweaty Resistance Fighter and it would have made sense. But he's swarthy. What does swarthy even mean? Like, I can kind of guess. Like, rugged. Swarthy is not usually a word I come across. Damn it all. Where could it have got to? My Pokemon cards. They've been stolen. Oh, pardon me, fellow lover of freedom and justice. Okay. Thanks. You haven't seen a ward of the Destroyer anywhere, have you? Maybe on the ground, as if a certain bloody fool had dropped it? I'd been him. We've been new. I had it this morning, that much I know for certain, and I've not left the Reach since, so it's got to be around here somewhere. If you got a moment to spare, would you be willing to help me search? I spent some time near the Temple of the Fist earlier, so it might be there. As for me, I'll look around near the officer's pavilion. Yorva was like, just a question, does it have like little markings on it? I was looking at something earlier that sounded just like that. They're hardly rare, I know, and I could just easily buy another, but even so, please help me find it. Oh wait, it's up above, I forgot. I forgot. There's nothing there. We're just gonna pretend there's something there, but there's just a bunch of rock. What if she just picks up a really nice rock and be like, this must be it? I swear I've searched high and low, but it just won't turn up. Also, I like that I'm holding a it was a piece of paper. A paper ward inscribed with a prayer to the patron deity of Alamigo Rauger. 7 Hells, that's the one. And what? This is just a really nice rock. Yorva's like, take it, free of charge. That's my lucky ward. You're a godsend, sister. Before I was born, my mother made a pilgrimage to the Temple of the Fist, where she, like many others, received the blessings of the monks. And then the order came and burned it all to the ground. The bad bastard. And after him came the Garleans, who cared even less for our beliefs. But I still keep to the old ways, as do many others. And when my son is born, I'll teach him the stories in the scripture, as my mother taught me. I'm not really quite sure, like, what their religion truly is about. I could tell a lot about Ishgardian Orthodox Church shit, but... And with that, another task is complete. Yorva's like, yeah, and you were the one who signed me up for this, Alf, you know. Ah, Yorva, I hear you've been keeping busy. Against my will. Aye, that she has. And we thank her for it. Yorva's like, okay, well, at least you guys are paying me $5. Yorva's like, I got, I think, a total of $25 for doing all of that. It pleases me to inform you that our new recruits have completed their initial training and stand ready to contribute. It only took like... Let's go by Eorzean time. Only took maybe like 6 or 7 hours. As discussed, Minago, I would have you present my proposal for an assault on Castrum Veladina to General Aldin personally. Of course, sir. I like talking with Raubon. I'm the Raubon girl now. Are you and yours planning to return to Castrum Oriens before the operation? If so, why don't we travel together? That seems a fine suggestion, but I must consult my comrades ere we depart. We have a buddy system, we have to tell everybody where we're going at all times, and you should take somebody with you unless you're a warrior of light. He like rattles that off like they've gone over this quite a bit. Very well. I will wait for you all at the pass, but not too long. I expect Cryo and Yustola will wish to remain here to support the Kyrusians, but nevertheless, we should go and ask them. I'm just gonna swim. We're just gonna take a mount. Technically, mounts can swim, but not in here. It's kind of more like on the surface of things you can't dive into. It's like they mostly have to like fly across the surface, and you can't fly here, so... Is Artemis? She's like, everybody's just standing. I see. That would explain the sudden flurry of activity outside. This joint operation marks a turning point in our conflict with Garleans. For the first time, the Resistance and the Alliance shall go on the offensive, and attempt to capture an Imperial outpost in occupied territory. Personally, I believe it is imperative that we offer them our full support. As was the case with Ishgard, however, this is not a choice to be made lightly, nor less on others' behalfs. This is war, and every scion must decide what part he or she would play. I'll fight. For Alamigo, for my father, for Ida, I'm in it to the end. The choice was made for us ere we were born, brother, when the Empire marched on Eorzea. It will stop at nothing to subjugate or slaughter us all. Van Belsar and Van Darnus were but the first to try. Though your fervor is surprising, I cannot dispute your logic. She's like, since when did you answer to the call of adventure? She's like, since the fighting ramped up, brother. She's like, I didn't do Ishgard because that was a whole lot of diplomatic talking and a lot of church. I'm here because this is just plain old resistance fighter mode. At the risk of repeating myself, I am of course of the same mind. The present situation is untenable and further complicated by the existence of Ilberd's Primal. I believe we have no recourse but to directly and openly intervene. We are really bad Charlayans, and that's a good thing. I thought this a foregone conclusion, given our actions thus far, but if you require renewed affirmation, then yes, I am still wholly committed to this cause. For it is ultimately the selfsame cause that I have served since first I pledged to serve Master Louis Swan and the Circle of Knowing. The salvation of Eorzea, by any means necessary. That said, I shall refrain from taking the field on this occasion. There are many here who would require further treatment, and doubtless more to come after. I came here for Minfilia, and that hasn't changed. However, I'd like to stay with Y'shtola for now and tend to the wounded. As for you, Yorva, you are, to quote our dear friend Lord Edmont, the woman who slew Gaius Van Belsar and some half-dozen primals besides. Your presence may well prove the difference between victory and defeat. Many look to you as a hero and heap great expectations upon your shoulders. But you, like every scion, must decide for yourself. Yorva's like, well... She's like, I came here to fight. So, Zuyaya chose this last one, and I got an interesting bit of dialogue. I might talk about that, but, I remember, because I was definitely playing Zuyaya at this point as somebody who's just along for the ride and just, like, does not give a shit. But I also couldn't, Alfie, this is like oh god. I can't think of many other options where Warrior of Light has the chance to call Alfino Alfie. And he's like, please don't make Alfie happy. Alfino, don't, please, no nicknames. But I think he does kind of feel like, oh, like when you choose that option, he's just like, it is a fair option though. Like the Warrior of Light's like, think of it this way. Warrior of Light just came off of the tail end of getting into some heavy politics in Ishgard, and only to be thrown into some very, even heavier politics in this expansion. So, some Warrior of Lights, I could just tell, it's like, holy shit, like, I don't even go here. I don't even live here. But Zuyaya picked that option because she's trash. No, I mean, she's just very tsundere about helping everybody out. I think Yorva Yorva will always be against the Empire because, let's see, Yorva's homeland would be to the south and, like, the Evil East areas. Most Hrothgar have had their territory taken over by the Empire well before, like, most Hrothgar were born in occupation and nothing but. So the Empire might be important to her. But I'm gonna choose, as long as there's a battle to be fought, I'll be. She's like, I need to practice more. I'm still bad at my katana skills. Ha! Ever the adventurer. You live for these moments, do you not? Yeah, I'm playing her as like a pure adventurer. Swashbuckling adventurer with a katana. Take care, Y'shtola and Kryl, and do not hesitate to contact us should you require assistance. Lise, I would ask that you remain here, by Conrad's side. We should go, or Minago will leave without us. Might I persuade you to join us, Yorva? Should you wish to give your decision further consideration, Castrum Oriens would seem an apt place to do it. You need not answer right away. I'm sure I can convince Minago to wait a little longer. Yorva's like, I really appreciate you gathering consent, Alfino. But I already did just say that I'm going to be there, so... I guess he was like, do you want to do some side quests before you leave? There's not really anything here, though. Guess maybe some shopping. Oh wait, how are my retainers? They are done with their stuff. Oh, they're now leveled up enough to accept a job. Well, I'm still gonna... This retainer is based off of one of my Makote, Warrior of Lights. I don't think I can get her any better gear. Oh, I have so much in my inventory. I'm gonna have to do something about the pants. Yeah, I need to clear a bunch of stuff out. Oh, that's an intelligence thing. I'll assign her a quick exploration. Belob. This is Milo. His last name begins with a B, so Milo was taken, so it's like Milo B. But storing these for later. Okay, there we go. Alright. Yeah, that's what Alvia's like, you can just stop for a bit, do some shopping. Yorva's like, I'm just gonna issue some commands to my retainer. So you will be accompanying us? Full glad am I to hear it. Yorva's like, the plot doesn't do anything unless I'm here. All set? Excellent. Let's be off. Trying to think. I'm not gonna worry too hard about gaining flight in this area. we will be returning back here and then we'll see where this aetheryte is. We'll be doing this part of the map at a later time. So it is not possible right off the bat to... Where am I going? Well, at least I discovered a new location. But, I think I remember, when people were trapped by Ralbaniacs, people were requesting some of the people who had probably been playing from sun up till sundown, because they had gotten past that point and then were already up here. Let me tell you, it takes a long time to get back to this area. So they were like probably more than halfway finished with the plot or whatever. And they had flight unlocked, so there were just people that were like, can you fit me in a multi-seater mount and fly me over the map, just so that they could, you know, discover parts of the map or whatever. I guess maybe attuned to that either, right? Not that that mattered, because it's like if you can't progress through the plot, there's nothing to do up there, really, other than fight a bunch of enemies, maybe do some fates, but again, I don't think you're going to be around that level, because what is this level? Yeah, level 67 area. Yeah, like I said, you're like level 60 in this area. You don't come back until level 67 for that top portion up there. Or I guess it's the bottom portion of the map. This is higher ground here. So you can't get up here. It's not climbable. And then there's also a river, I believe. Oh my gosh. Robot! Robot, I'm right behind you. Welcome back, comrades. What news? Greetings, General. I am come at Commander Kemp's behest to brief you on our latest developments at the Reach. Our recruitment efforts have exceeded expectations. In addition to welcoming many motivated young Alamegans, our ranks have been bolstered by the arrival of a number of experienced veterans, thanks in large part to the efforts of the Scions. As a consequence, we are now able to field half a dozen new units, with more being trained as we speak. Good. I gather Conrad is eager to strike while the iron's hot. Just so, General. He proposes that we begin preparations for a joint operation to capture Castrum Veladina. Capture Veladina? That will not be easy. It will, however, be necessary if we are to ever push east towards the capital. There is no profit in delay. It is only a matter of time before the Garleans learn of our plans and summon reinforcements. The Alliance hereby accepts Commander Kemp's proposal. Tell him to take no chances. Bring every able-bodied Alamegan who can wield a weapon. Pippin, I want Veladina watched. Assess its defenses. Every fortress has a weakness, and I would know this one's. If there is no objection, General, might the Scions join Marshal Tarupin? They're like, we gotta get our adults' consent, and Yorva's like, yeah. By all means. If that's all, let us be about it. Conrad and the General of one mind, it seems. I only wish I could say the same. While this aggressive strategy may well profit us in the end, what losses will we suffer in the meantime? Yorva's like, oh, a lot of people are dying, Alize, that's for sure. A lot of people. Anyway, we should speak with the Vice Marshal about this reconnaissance mission and see how he would like to proceed. Would you like an earring? Here, take it. Thank you for volunteering to join me. It's not every day that the Warrior of Light decides to just go on a suicide mission. This should be a fairly straightforward reconnaissance mission. Yorva's like, do you mean suicide mission? He's like, no, just reconnaissance mission. So long as we do not have the ill fortune to run afoul of an Imperial patrol, then it would become a suicide mission. Come. Our destination is beyond East End, just north of Veladina. So a lot of these houses over here, they've been abandoned a long time. There's a bit of lore out here. I expound upon it later. A lot of these areas were lived in, but kind of more of like just pretty rural folk. Most people that were kind of living off the grid anyways. But then, when the Empire invaded, I seriously don't think anybody's been inside those buildings for 20 years or more. Oh shoot, did I go the wrong end? No, I can't just... It's so close, but so far. I went the wrong way. Well, since I'm over here, this is Cashmere Veladina. This is the tower that Lise mentioned last episode. And actually, what happens if I try to go up to it? This is what's blocking you from getting to the other side of the map, pretty much. Because the only way across this big canyon / river... Yeah, these gates are closed. Oh, at least I got some of the map. But yeah, this right here is your only way into there. Unless if you got a friend who can take you across on a 2-seater mount. But, even then it's like, not much reason. Oh, I was like, why can't I see that? One of the few instances of enemies that use invisibility on the field. I honestly don't see that too often on maps. In fact, like, is that... like... These other antlines are... Did I just literally go to the same... whatever. I went around the wrong rock. I just had to go here. Yeah, that one was a burrower, and I was like, oh, I can't see it. I'm like, I wonder why. Was it buried underground, perhaps? I don't know. Why would a buried antlion do that? Oh, I yearn for the expansions. Where they put stuff far out of the reach of enemies. It will get fixed after this expansion, but... this ought to be close enough. Now we settle in for the long watch. That said, it would be prudent to keep your weapons at the ready in the event a passing patrol stumbles upon us, or worse. Several cutscenes will play in sequence. So if you... This was the other one. It didn't cause as much problems as the Raubon one, but this one could also... you could crash in the middle. Like, I remember... It was right here, and then it crashed. It was like...
Excellent. The disposition of the Imperial forces is exactly as expected. I will notify Father. Cannon fire! Where did it come from?
Smoke! There! Is that... Oh, gods, it's Ralga's Reach.
She's like, oh. Well.
It's no use. I think someone's jamming our communications.
You don't think... Could this be part of a coordinated attack?
I don't know.
Too early to draw conclusions. We must abort the assault and return to the Reach at once.
Forward! Forward! Give them no quarter!
You! Traitor! Kinslayer!
You're no kin of mine! Take you!
Oh, here comes big booty bitches.
Well, well. Stand aside, Pilus. This one has promise.
Have a care, my lord. She's not like the others.
She's the main
Do
character.
not disappoint me, girl, or I will kill you.
So he literally carries like a...
Seven hells! It's him! It's Xenos!
He carries on like a golf club.
Oh, you are a dead man!
Got like golf club swords. That's what he's got. I think I'll use my
spirited
putter.
and yet so empty.
I'm really close to the hole, so you know. Time for the putt. Stola coming in clutch.
Ah, a magical barrier. Alas. It will not save you.
Stola!
Hold the line, Byrolga! Hold the line!
Kryl!
Alphino!
We saw the smoke and thought we heard explosions. Are we under attack?
The Imperials were all over us before we realized what was happening. No one knew where to run or what to do. It was chaos. Lise and Master Kemp rallied the guards and bought us enough time to get some of the wounded to safety, but I haven't seen either of them since.
Confound it! If we lose the Reach, this will all have been for naught.
Arenvold, can you escort these people to the wall?
Aye, sir.
Our place is at the Reach. We must offer such aid and succor as we are able. Saving lives is now our paramount concern.
If we can hold back the Imperials until Father sends reinforcements, we may yet turn the tide.
I'll join you. I've done all I can for these people, and you'll be crying out for a healer in there.
I fear you're right. Come, there is no time to lose.
Alright, time to take a... Everybody's smaller than me. Alright, time to save some people. Oh my gosh. If I can target them.
It's all over now! Take that!
Alright, well, we saved 3 people. I don't know if you take too long, like, those people will die. I figured they were, but it's so easy to save them, so... This guy's not putting up a fair fight. That guy is unarmed. Leave him alone. That's right. Alright, all these people are saved now. Pretty much in this segment, you go around
flames!
group to group saving people, you know. Pretty, oh, this is our first taste of, oh gosh, what are they? The Wolf Tribe? Oh gosh, I forgot. They're lupine-looking people. Alfredo made the remark like, "Are those beastmen fighting for the Imperials?" And he's like, nobody's ever seen them, except, Domans. These guys come from Doma. So again, another example of captured peoples. This time it's the Wolfmen, the Wolf people. And they took Lise. They kidnapped some people. And here are the skulls. And for Dola.
Rebel scum!
Don't you know who I am? She's like, what the fuck is this? You're not a pushover. He just... And then I started blasting.
What took you so long?
Alpha, no, I need your help!
My lord, the prisoners!
See to your men, Pylus.
Mr. Golf Clubs.
As you command, my lord.
I think Yorva does have to be a little bit jealous of his sword golf club thing. She's like, I kind of want one, to be fair.
Your friends were a disappointment. But you will entertain me, will you not?
Let's beat up this bitch! Yorva's like, only I want to have the katana.
Weak! As one! Yeah.
Doesn't even hold it right.
Be gone!
Yeah. So he almost took out most of my HP with that one.
Give me something to remember.
The storm. Oh shit. Okay. The storm of blood. Gotta keep hitting these. Oh gosh. See, you're kind of cheating. You're not allowing me to hit you. Even after the hits, he's still at 97% health. Slow. So, this is practice. He also moves so slow, he's just like crawling on the ground. So Xenos will be our main antagonists for this expansion. And, yeah, so it's kind of teaching us. I'm like, which one will go off first? This is kind of teaching us a little bit about some of his moveset. This is really, only for me to pay attention to. But yeah, what it is kind of a tutorial to be like, hey, watch for these moves. Maybe, maybe pay attention to them and maybe they'll come in handy later. Who knows? Yeah, that move is cheating. It would still take me hours to take down that HP, I bet. Yorva's like, but I'm supposed to be the most powerful thing ever. Ugh. Got my ass kicked on national television. Oh. I still broke your sword, though. Gotta get a new one.
Pathetic.
They're like, holy shit.
7 hells.
Somebody actually kicked the Warrior of Light's ass. He's like, hold on a minute. If he kicked the Warrior of Light's ass, and the Warrior of Light kicked my ass, that can only mean, and he does like a calculation, I would get my ass kicked.
Shall we give chase, General?
Unless you want to get your ass kicked.
Nay. There has been enough death this day. See to the wounded.
He's like, anybody I send after him is just gonna die.
Sir.
That's it. No other thing there. He's like, hey, we've all been there. We've all landed on our ass. Yorva's like, no, I got boo-boo. No. I think my pride might have taken a knock. She's like, why am I not better than him?
'Tis no ordinary foe could best the likes of you.
Not even gods can take me down. Yeah, all those people, they were training for 7 hours. I don't think that 7-hour training helped. I think they needed to be trained for a little bit longer than that.
Don't you die on me, Ashola! Hold on! Don't worry, it's going to be all right.
She's just bleeding
Alphino,
internally.
Master Kemp is all yours.
That's where the blood's supposed to go.
Understood.
Don't just stand there gawping. Hold her down while I work.
Oh yeah, if you're a healer, I believe you come in and start helping, but I'm not a healer, so... Also, what do you need me to hold her down for? She's like limp like a rag.
The worst is past, but without the proper facilities, I can do no more.
Master Kemp too would be better served in the infirmary. Let us take them there without delay.
Give us a hand, would you, Lise?
Of course.
I know you must be exhausted, but there will be others who need our help. Leave these two to us and look to the other wounded.
Put Kryl in charge. She could order armies around. The music has changed. You did well, Yorva. You saved lives. No matter what happens, remember that. Now then, let's do what we can for the wounded. Every minute counts. Triumphant fanfare. See to the wounded, Yorva. If they live, help them. If not, move on. Alright. So I'm just looking at all this stuff. I'm like, well, so much for that 7-hour training. So the camp has been pretty much destroyed. It's gonna look like this for a hot minute. Even the merchant's just like, do you want something? Oh, they sell Phoenix Downs here now too. That's good. I still have 3 on my person. Let's see, do you have Gazal greens? Oh yeah, you do. I've been going through a lot. Yorva's taking this moment, like, they're like, hey, how's it going? She's like, do you have any Gazal greens? My chocobo is hungry. They're like, yeah. Oh gosh, this guy, he looks so sad. All of my wares have gone up in smoke. Dude, I think worse things have been happening. I think you're okay. Oh god, okay, Mefford, I forgot about the Mefford. God damn it, Mefford. Weren't you the one telling me to use my head and stay alive? I think this is the guy that's usually standing with him, I don't know. Mefford lies motionless, having breathed his last. Clenched in his fist is a small charm, which you take for safekeeping. He was already cold when I got to him. There was naught I could do. That charm must have been important. You best take it to Conrad. Mefford did not last very long. He only lasted till level 60. Just spoiler alert, he doesn't come back, guys. He's gone. He's gone. So, GG. He stood for 5 million years out in Quarry Mill, only to finally come back to Rauger's Reach after all that time, and then, like, dies in the first episode. Like, I guess for me it's the second episode, but like I needed to say we're still on level 60 quests. Like, oh yeah, and Y'shtola, it's okay. Y'shtola almost dies like every expansion. It's fine. You're worried about Y'shtola, aren't you? It's too early to make any kind of prognosis, but she's alive for now. Lise is pretty. If it wasn't for her, it'd be me lying here. I wish it was. Yeah, Lise is pulling Thancred over there. Good thing Thancred's like... Thancred decided to stay behind with Urianger and read books or whatever. I know what he's doing. He's in the bars right now, trying to get information. It makes no sense. He brushed us aside as if we were nothing. Yorva's like, he brushed me aside. Damn it, Alize, this is serious. You need rest. You seem ready to burst into tears. I'd fetch you a handkerchief, but... Well, Conrad's up. Nago, Meffred, where are you? Oh, here's Meffred's charm. Will that make you feel better? This is... He's dead, isn't he? Meffred was a warrior, always thinking about others before himself. He once had an Imperial patrol chase him nigh on 20 malms, so that his wounded would have time to escape. His comrades loved him for it, of course, though that only made him worry more. Did you know that he sent his men in Quarry Mill away because he thought that we were fighting for him and not the cause? Aye, well, he did. The only life he was willing to risk was his own, you see. Well, that's exactly the kind of man who should be a leader. The kind of man who deserves to survive. Not an old fool who's all used up. There is no logic to it, Master Kemp. There never is. Who stands, who falls, in the heat of battle we can do but our best, as he did. Meffred will be sorely missed, aye, but because of his sacrifice, many now live who otherwise would not, and they need us, now more than ever. He's sitting there like, a 16-year-old shouldn't be saying that, but, you know, I can see that you're very traumatized. Aye, that they do. Forgive me, I had high hopes for him is all. He was like, I was gonna retire. I was gonna just tell Meffred, you take care of it. Our defeat was no near thing. It was total, a humiliation. Now I'm hungry for some total cereal. Thanks, Pippin. We were powerless to withstand our enemy's assault. But we cannot afford to dwell on our failure. As Alfino said, it is those who survived whom we must think of now. Rauger's Reach is no longer safe. The Imperials may have withdrawn, but they could return at any time to finish what they began. We dare not remain here. Those who are not fit to make the journey to Castrum Oriens will need to be taken by chocobo carriage. Agreed? Good. I shall oversee preparations for the carriages. In the meantime, I would have you scour the infirmary for any supplies that might prove useful during the journey. I was like, okay, ask the pharmacist. Forgive me, it is imperative that I continue preparing medicines for the wounded. If you desire treatment, I must ask that you seek it elsewhere. Oh, I see. In that case, you are free to search the barber and take that which you require. I would not have our people dying en route. I would assist you, but this process demands my undivided attention. Miss, Marshal Tarapin said you might have something for me. She's like, yeah, I don't know. I just took some, like, bottles, bandages, yeah. 12 be praised. This should put the driver's heart at ease. Tell the Vice Marshal we await his orders. You stolen, the others are safely strapped in. Don't worry, I'll be by her side the entire time. Thank you, Cryo. I'll walk alongside. They'll need protection in case the Garleans try anything. Hang on, you're injured too, aren't you? Shouldn't you be in one of the carriages? I'm not so frail that I can't make the trip on my own. Besides, there's still work to be done here. I'll see you at the wall when it's finished. As you wish. Then let us set forth at once. We shall move as quickly as our comrades' health allows. To Castromorians. The quest complete me. It's like, listen to this. And then we have to do the da 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 da. Oh, it comes with the most I don't know. I don't ever want them to change it. It's hilarious, but it's just like they didn't really think it through with the sound here, where it was like there were no survivors. Da da. It's just way too upbeat for the environment. You saved a good many of my men, and I cannot thank you enough for that. But the fact remains, our forces were decimated. In this state, we'll not be mounting an assault on We will not be mounting an assault on Castellum Velodina, or anywhere else. See, you can't be... Call it the Castrum, call it Castellum, but you guys can't be using both, come on. We need to be honest with ourselves about our prospects. But first, we need to put our affairs here in order. Afterwards, I'll join you at Castromorians. Understood. We will go and speak with General Alden. Oh. He's on the other side, isn't he? He's right where I left him. We just have like this devastating music. And then some stuff is still smoldering on fire. There's like weapons scattered all over the ground. Tents are destroyed. Pippin has already departed with the wounded, has he? Good. We have completed our search of the Reach and the surrounding area. As far as we can tell, Xenos and his men returned straightway to Specula Imperatoris after quitting this place. It would seem he's lost interest in us. Which brings us to the most troubling question of all. Not how he found us, but why he chose to spare our lives having done so. In war, you kill or capture your enemy. You don't leave him to fight another day. Only a fool would turn his back and walk away. But Xenos is no fool. Whatever his motive, this is neither the time nor the place to think on it. I will leave a token force to watch over the Reach. The rest will fall back to Castromorians. We can discuss our path forward there. So, yeah, this is now, put quite a damper on our plans to storm Castrum Velodina. Just as they got all those new recruits in and trained them for 7 hours. Most of them got killed anyways. So, we don't have that part of the army ready to storm Veladina. So now we're left wondering, well, what the heck are we gonna do now? Like, that was our whole plan. We didn't even get to, like, do any reconnaissance. We just met up with Pippin, looked at the tower for 3 seconds, and then the Reach was attacked. And then we're just sitting there like, now we don't have enough guys. We need enough dudes. And if you don't have enough dudes, you can't do this good old siege. A good old siege needs like a lot of guys. Reminds me of those videos of like, who will win? 1,000 Michael Jacksons or 100 lions? You know? Oop, I'm going the wrong way. I'm too far north. Oh man. Yorva's just like, I got it, guys. We spawn in 1,000 Michael Jacksons and see if that does it. You know? Oh, there's the B rank. I see that the A rank got taken care of at some point. And there's the B rank. Luckily, B ranks will leave you alone as long as you leave them alone. But A ranks, man, especially at the level I'm at, there's no way. I don't even think I could take on a level 50 A rank by myself. Eventually, though. Eventually you can just come in and decimate whatever. Kryle's with Y'shtola. She still hasn't woken up, but Kryle says she's through the worst. Given the severity of her wound, that was just shoulder to, what is it, rib cage wound? That's a big wound. Yeah, given the severity of her wound, we could have hoped for no more. Let us pray she makes a full recovery. We lost a lot of good people, didn't we? We didn't even get to storm the Castellum. I saw it happen. When the school's commander cut down Meffred. A single blow, and that was it. Everything he fought for, all his hopes and dreams for the future, gone in all an instant. And do you want to know the worst part? It wasn't a Garlean who did it. It was an Alamegan. God's help me if I ever... No. Not now. Not while the general's waiting. Oh, Lise. It's like, I like revenge too, but... Yorva's like, I did a whole expansion about revenge, and I think I learned a lesson from it.
Were it not for the swift actions of the Scions and the Alliance, many more would have died. You risked your lives to save ours, and for that we thank you.
There is no need for thanks. We are allies, are we not?
Aye, just so. Let us not dwell on this tragedy, but look to the future.
The future? I'm sorry, General, but there is no future for us. We've lost too many. Gods, I can still see Meffred with that woman standing over him. They've ripped the heart out of us, General. They've broken us. Our fight is over.
Master Kemp, please.
I'll always hate them with every fiber of my being. For what they took from us then and now. Our homeland, our freedom, our bloody children.
You mean the Skulls? The youths who fight for Xenos?
Crania Lupi, the Black Wolf's legacy and our shame. A unit made up of children born to Alamegan dignitaries who came of age during the occupation. Sons and daughters of Gir Abania, raised to be proud citizens of the Empire, with all the rights and responsibilities that entails. It'd be easy to curse them and call them traitors, but they're our children. Our flesh and blood. If the only way to forge the future we want is to cut down our own, then...
Then what was it all for?
Nargo.
What will you say to the families of the fallen? To the mothers, and the widows, and the orphans? Will you tell them it was all for nothing?
Listen to the girl. We dare not suffer our comrades' sacrifices to have been in vain. Now is the time to steel our resolve and press on, painful though it may be.
And when Xenos comes back with his army, what then? This isn't the first time, you know. You'll be hard-pressed to find men brave or stupid enough to face him again.
I still can't believe how strong he was. He humiliated us back there. The Warrior of Light included. God help us if he's next in line to the Garlean throne.
Speak for yourself, Lise.
Loath though I am to say it, we should not be surprised. Before succeeding Van Baelsar in Alamigo, Xenos led the Imperial army to Doma, where he crushed the rebellion utterly. As a matter of fact, Doma remains in his charge to this day. Suffice it to say, Varus's heir is a peerless warrior and an accomplished general. The question is, how are we to contend with such a foe?
We fight, and we fight, and we keep fighting until we win. Honestly, that sounds like her. I think Zuyaya says, I have a feeling you're about to tell us, because Zuyaya is fed up with this bullshit 24/7.
Come now, even you have your limits. But then, so too must he. One legatus ruling two provinces a world apart. Yes, divide and conquer. We kindle the flames of revolution in Doma once more, thereby forcing Xenos to fight a war on two fronts.
For that, there would need to be someone left to fight on this front by the time you got back. Look, I'll not deny the plan as promised, and I feel for our brothers and sisters in Doma, truly I do. But I fear we lack the strength to see it through.
Have faith in your people, Master Kemp. Them and the Scions. Hold fast, rebuild, and when all is in place, we shall defeat Xenos together.
If you're going to Doma, I'm coming too. I want to help our friends there, and make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
Give us the time we need, and we will give you something far greater.
Very well. For all you have done for us, we will fight on. But be swift, comrades. Alamigo has suffered enough.
Okay, so... new plan. We go halfway across the world to Doma and start a rebellion there in hopes of distracting Xenos. I mean, amazing if we pull it off, but it's like, okay, you know, let's just do that, I guess. It goes without saying, but the Scions alone have not the strength to topple a provincial government, here or anywhere else. Have we tried? Like, maybe. And I am quite certain that the same can be said of the Doman Liberation Front. Nevertheless, we can go and assess the situation for ourselves and see what can be done. Lest you doubt the good we few can accomplish, I would remind you that my grandfather and his 12 disciples once journeyed to these lands Oh, excuse me. Alvin was like, sorry, I've been drinking some soda. I got a burp. I remind you that my grandfather and his 12 disciples once journeyed to these lands to save Eorzea and her people from certain doom. Brave souls was an impossible task, and Eorzea lives on. Okay, when you put it that way, I guess keep comparing me to your grandfather, I guess. Like, Jesus, have I not done enough? Our present mission may not... He's like, I'm continuing. Our present mission may not be as monumental in scope, but it is no less important to the multitudes whom we free from imperial oppression, whom we will free. I made it to level 61 territory. Now she's gonna be like, okay, but how do we get to the other side of the world, Alfino? Where men go as one, there is life, and where there is life, there is cause to hope. Our grandfather believed that, and so do I, because grandfather said it. But before we can forge ties with our friends in the Far East, we must first find a way to reach them. Author is not exactly over the river and through the woods. He's like, I too love that musical, but let's not make that reference. I am one step ahead of you, dear sister, or rather, Tataru is. Were you already like on the phone with her? But before we discuss that, there's another issue I wish to address. Much as I would like it if we could all make this journey together, someone will need to remain to serve as liaison to the Alliance and the Resistance during this critical period. Moreover, as Justola cannot be left unattended, then I should obviously remain. Very well. Issued addressed. She's like, I don't think I want to go where you guys are going. It's already terrible here. You know, Alfino, it would have been quicker to just ask, and markedly less patronizing. Yes, I suppose, would you be willing to look after Y'shtola and provide support to Arenvald and the others? Yes, Alfino, I would. You see, that wasn't so hard, was it? Enjoy your trip, and don't you dare return with a gift. Or was that without? No, she says, don't you dare return with a gift. Yorva's like, well, now I want to get you a gift even more. Oh, I would not dream of it. Right then, sister, Yorva, Lise, gather your things. Gather your things. We are for Limsa Lamensa. It is literally the only international airport we have. Am I not hitting it? I was hitting the box, wasn't I? Because I was like, she really did say, don't get me a gift. And I'm like, does that mean get you a gift? We're getting her a gift regardless. I mean, she's Kryl. Well, I hoped you appreciated the 3 or more, I guess it's been kind of 6 hours that we spent around here, because we're not gonna come back for a while. We start this whole entire thing with, oh my god, we gotta liberate Alamigo, and then the first 6 hours in, and we leave, and we don't come back to Girabanya or the surrounding area until level 67, and we are technically in the 61 territory, so like, you know, just enjoy the ride for the rest of all of this. I was feeling very confused when we had to do this. It makes sense. Alphino's plan makes complete sense. If we can divide everybody's attention, and this is made even better because we did take down Gaius Van Belsar. He was supposed to be looking over or watching Alamigo, but he went over into Eorzea to invade and then got killed, so Xenos then had to take over for him. So now Xenos has to divide his attention between Alamigo and Doma, which is really funny considering how far apart they are, but that being said, it's not like Xenos doesn't leave somebody in charge somewhere if he's gotta go elsewhere. He's not dumb. It's not like, oh, they're leaderless. So I'm like, okay, so even if we do make Xenos come all the way to Doma to handle us, it's not like somebody's not going to be in charge in Alamigo, you know, and the same as vice versa. There's somebody in charge of Doma while he's away as well. But because Gaius fell in A Realm Reborn, this is now affording us an opportunity we wouldn't have had before. Tataru should be here any moment with our ship's captain. So we're going by sea after all. Is Merowib lending us our pick of the Crimson Fleet? Not exactly. I also don't know how we're just gonna fly over there either. You are right, in so much as we'll be traveling by sea. Regrettably, it is simply not feasible for an airship to travel such a distance without impossibly large fuel reserves, to say nothing of the inevitability of running afoul of the Empire's aerial defenses. Yeah, that's the other thing. You can't just take an airship past Eorzean lines, I would say. You would either have to be traveling the ocean anyways, and where are you going to fuel up? There's not like a come and go somewhere around for you to just get some more fuel. And then Garlemald is known for airships. In fact, we stole their airship technology. That's why we have airships. So they're like the inventors of airships. So, yeah, if you were wondering that discussion, I mean, it's just, you gotta travel the distance of Russia plus more to get over to Doma. But then it is equally infeasible to sail an Eorzean Alliance vessel halfway around the world without the Empire taking notice. Yeah, you can't fly those colors. Which leaves us with only one other option. Ah, speak of the devil. One of my favorite characters. Sorry to keep you waiting. May I present to you Captain Carvalian of the Kraken's Arms. Again, a Realm Reborn character. We have talked with him. The Kraken's Arms? Don't tell me you made a deal with pirates. So, the Kraken's Arms are... they're a little bit more piratey than the rest of the pirates. Greetings and salutations, Scions. I take it from your comrade's tones that you no longer wish to proceed with our proposed agreement? Not at all, Captain. Very forgive my sister her outburst. She has ever been one to speak her mind. I, on the other hand, am the very soul of discretion, as many well-respected personages would attest, from the offices of the Admiral to the High Houses of Ishgard. Now you just sound like an ass, Alphino. He's like, let me just name drop some people. Oh, but where was I? Oh, he's shoving his foot in his mouth by being... If I haven't discussed this before, one of the Ishgard High Houses is missing a son, by the way. He's presumed dead. He was lost at sea, you see. The House Zamail heir. House Zamail, where they are known to have very dark skin and very red hair. Anyways, it's so sad and tragic. They lost their son at sea and he was never heard from again. Ah, but where was I? Oh yes. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn do indeed still wish to employ your services. However, it is important that you are aware of certain extenuating circumstances. He's like, Alamigo's gone to shit. That's all he says. And intent on securing passages to the Far East, you came to us, knowing to be the proud purveyors of said region's finest spices. Yeah, so the Kraken's Arms, which he's in charge of, mostly go on a spice run. Sometimes that actually means spices. Sometimes that means, quote, spices. And sometimes those spices are of the explosive kind. Which you steal from the God-fearing merchants out on the high seas. Whatever privateering the Kraken's Arms may or may not engage in is strictly within the limits of the law, as set forth by our indefatigable keeper of peace. More to the point, we are pragmatics. I see considerable risk in aiding your cause and negligible profit. Well, I, for one, think the captain has a point. The 5 seas can be extremely treacherous, and many a poor, unfortunate soul has come to grief out there on the waves. Why, when we were in Ishgard, I heard the tragic tale of how the heir to House Durandare vanished at sea. Even now, nearly 20 years later, the poor count remains convinced that his son still lives and would pay a sultan's ransom for news of his whereabouts. He's just gonna... He's like, blackmail, is it? Truly a tragedy for the ages, and a testament to the misfortunes that may befall us should we act without due consideration. But so long as you are prepared to abide the capricious whims of fate, I am willing to oblige you this once. That said, in light of the recent rebellion, I trust you understand that I cannot deliver you to Doma itself. I can take you only as far as Kugane and Higashi. You will require time to procure sufficient provisions and make ready for departure. I humbly suggest you do the same. It is to be blackmail. Yeah, this factoid was known since The Realm Reborn. If you'd ever done some side quests, looked at some meta lore. But Tataru, she knows. She read the Eorzea compendium. The poor little boy had only seen 14 summers when he left Ishgard. Can you imagine what it must have felt like to finally be free to explore the world, unbeholden to all the stuffy traditions of the Holy See? Such a shame that he never returned home. Without him, Count de Durandare must look elsewhere for a successor, and the good Lord Jacquenar is one step closer to being next in line. Yeah, if we do astrologian quests, we will know more about Jacques. Lord Durandare is like, no, I have to rely on my useless bisexual, gosh, what is he? Nephew, I think he is. I think Jean Quinard is technically his cousin. I'm not sure what just happened. I could have sworn he was about to turn us away, but then he changed his mind. Yorva's like, I don't know, it's so weird. Blackmail, is it? This is a dangerous game the two of them are playing. What guarantee do we have that Carvalion won't just throw us overboard? Oh, so Alfino's in on it, maybe? I don't know. Suddenly, all those hours Tataru passed cavorting and capering at the Forgotten Night seem rather better spent, do they not? Alfino's like, I can't believe all of her jello shots came to fruition. That said, I intended to press the point more obliquely, and there was something disconcerting about the pleasure Tataru took in making Captain Carvalion squirm. Oh, If there's one pastime Lalafell loved doing, it is looking at a very tall man and making his day worse. Procure the necessary supplies. Alize, I should be grateful if you would use the time to brief Urianger on recent developments. You may also wish to review the relevant safety procedures in the event of an emergency at sea. He's like, you use these flotation devices, you see? How very prudent of you. Very well. I shall go and speak with him. What of Yorva and Lise? I would like the two of you to return to Revenant's Toll and speak with our Doman allies. I fear we know too little of their homeland, and any information they could provide would be most welcome. When we have completed our respective tasks, we will reconvene here at the ferry docks. Agreed? Sounds like a plan. Let's go, Yorva. Alright. So I remember back in the day, before this expansion was out, there was talk about Carvallian, and people almost wondered if he would become involved in the Ishgard plotline. And that never came to be, because he left Ishgard on purpose. He has no intention of going back to being the lead of House Durndare. Well, here we are. We'll need to talk to lots of people, so I think we should split up. I'll ask around at the House of Splendors, and you'll take the Rising Stones. I'll meet you here after. Got it? But yeah, there was some speculation if Carvallian was like going to go back and, you know, take his place as the head of that house. But it's like, dude, leave the poor guy alone. He chose this on purpose. You're truly planning to travel to Doma? I don't know what to say. Forgive me, I shall aid you to the best of my ability. Ours is a beautiful land, nestled on the eastern coast of Authard. Along the banks of the One River, our nation thrived, proud and free, until the Garleans came 25 years ago. The river was our lifeblood, free to travel and to fish, but travel was soon restricted, and now the river belongs to none. Greetings, Yorva. What brings you to the toll this eve? What? You are for Doma? Heavens. You Scions have shown us naught but kindness, but never in my wildest dreams did I imagine you would fight for our homeland. For 25 years we suffered under their tyranny, and then we spied an opportunity. The Emperor, Ted, Garlemald, and Chaos. It seems the time was ripe. Beneath our Lord's banners we gathered, and fought to reclaim our nation. But when Xenos arrived with the 12th Legion, it was over in an instant. Yeah, again, Realm Reborn refresher. Prior to these guys coming over here, there was a large rebellion that was quickly put down. What is it, my friend? You look as though you have something to ask. Tell me about Doma. That you go to join Yugiri and Gosetsu, and the fight fills me with such joy. Ah, forgive my exuberance. You require information, yes? We, the Nagai clan, have served Doma faithfully for generations. My ancestors held position within Doma Castle, even. Now it is home to the Imperial Viceroy's witch and her host of men and Magitech. To think that what was once the shining symbol of our heritage and the seat of our dear Lord Kayed has become a den for Garlean dogs. Yes, so Kayed ruled in Doma Let me see if I can remember. I think he and his rebellion were put down way before all this. And then again, when Emperor Solus died somewhere in A Realm Reborn, we heard rumors circulating around, you know. But Solus was announced dead. We heard the news of that. And then these guys were like, we're going to do it. We're going to try to take it back. Well, I mean, it was a kind of a smart decision. But in the end, unfortunately, Xenos just had to walk into the room. And that was quelled quite swiftly. Ah, there you are. Learn anything interesting? Yorva's like, if anything, I probably know less. I don't know. The older Domans I spoke with tried to teach me all about Far Eastern customs and the importance of formality and politeness. I'd like to think Eorzeans can be just as stiff and stuffy as anyone, especially Ishgardians, but anyway. Did you know that they eat with sticks? It wasn't all that hard, actually, or at least that's what I thought until they told me I was holding them wrong. And then when I spoke with the younger Domans, they just rolled their eyes and told me it was all a load of stupid old... Huh? Yorva's like, I don't think any of that's gonna help us. Ah, what you learned sounds a lot more useful. Unless someone invites us for dinner, of course. I hope they do. Yorva's like, there's a witch. They have a witch. Anything look good? That's literally just the same one with black. Oh, I forgot they share the same gear. Or not technically. I like this. Those are some good pants. Right. No point waiting around here, is there? We should head back to Limsa Lamensa. Alfino said to meet at the ferry docks, I think. Where else would we go? Even if you weren't paying attention, I'd be like, well, we need to go where all the boats are, that's for sure. Gosh. Oh, it is full on a Tuesday night. Or no, it's Thursday now. It is full on a Thursday night. Oh yeah, currently the Rising. Well, no, it's not the Rising just yet. The summer festival is going on. So we're gonna have some fireworks. I'll definitely be putting up a small little video. Probably with Zuyaya, because I do most of my events with her. I will do it with Yorva, but I don't think I'll stream it, like... But it's important that Zuyaya gets all my goodies, because she's my main. I don't even know what they're giving out for awards this year. I didn't even check. I just knew, on Tuesday I think they updated it. A surfeit of sumptuous foods, wondrous sundries, plenty of clean undergarments. Yes, I do believe we have everything we need for a lengthy voyage. It's time like this, I'm glad we got Tataru taking care of business. Yorva's like, you let Tataru fold your underwear? An army marches on its stomach. Tataru took that lesson to heart. Tataru, we can't have the whole fridge with us. It'd probably expire somewhere halfway across the ocean. You are returned, Yorva. I trust you learned much from our Doman friends in Revenant's Toll. I don't know if I learned much at all, honestly. I learned there's some people there. There's Doma. It exists. I'm eager to hear it all, though that can wait until we have left port. We will have time enough to talk on our journey to Kugane. Our spice trading friends have completed their preparations. Assuming you have completed yours, you may inform the deckhand that we are ready to depart. I think now would be a good time to stop because there's going to be a series of unfortunate events. Not really. That was before all this. There's just going to be a series of events going on that's going to take, obviously, more than 20 minutes. So, rather than kind of be, like, rudely interrupted during a really good part, I think this is a good bookmark place right here. So, we made really good time on finishing up our quests around Rauger's Reach. This will be the last time we'll set foot on Eorzean soil for a bit. I'm thinking about all this stuff to come, and I'm like, honey, you got a big storm coming. You got a big Stormblood coming, you know? So, yeah. Next episode, Tuesday, next week, we'll start our journey into the Far East. Like Carvalian said, he can't drop us off by Doma. We're going to have to get our way in there, but we are going to be able to drop by Kugane. I think I can already see it on this map. So, this is our journey. I think they might highlight it. They might, like, show little dots. It's going to seem like we blink and we're good, but like think about this kind of boat travel. It probably takes maybe around half a day to go down here past Thanalan, and then we're gonna swoop right back up. There's something called the Crown here. I think that's what my Eorzean's a little bit rusty. I used to be able to read like full-blown Eorzean. It's easy if you know how to read English too. So I think that says the Crown, and we can't get too close to any of these lands. This is Garlean occupied territory. Anything with these storm clouds, it's going to be Garlemald here. The map is depicted that way. And you see some airships here. Oh, that's the Void Ark, I believe. This should be, we were just there. Hazi's Law in the far up above. And yeah, I'm getting sidetracked here. So we're going through this area. There's Thavnair. Thavnair is a neutral territory, especially Razadhan here. Razadhan is their capital. So we'll be kind of sailing past here to Thavnair. I don't think we'll be making any stops there, though. Thavnair, when I said it's neutral territory, that means that Garleans can be here too. They're allowed to trade and everything. They have not taken over Thavnair, not yet. I'm sure they want to. But Thavnair kind of keeps them at bay by being able to trade. I mean, they'll trade with all of the city-states in Eorzea. They'll trade with Authard and Hingashi here, all of the Far East. And they'll trade, this is, I believe, part of the Evil East territory. Corvos is probably... Corvos, I think, is somewhere around here, or something like that. Let's see. So we'll be traveling through here, up and around through, again, more Garlean-owned territory, until we make it to Hingashi all the way over here. Don't know why we don't try to go the other way. I know why we don't try to go the other way. Just like in real life, somebody tried to sail here to get a closer route, only to find that there's a whole ass other continent on this side, and that will be Dawn Trail. But yeah, so that's the trip that we're about to make. We're about to sail through here, up and around there, kind of graze Thavnair a little bit, go down again, and then swoop back up to finally land at Hingashi right here, or the capital, which is Kugane, and then right across this channel here, that's where Doma is. But we can't sail into this area. We will immediately get fucked. So the safest route is here. I forgot what else. There's other parts of Hingashi. We will only be seeing the capital, but there are other pieces of islands for Hingashi. And then authored is authored, but we'll be exploring. The majority of the map is this part. So, yeah. I don't know, I'm just filling in some space here since we had some time, but I just wanted to highlight, like, that's gonna be our journey, and it's not like... That's why when Tataru is like, please take all of this, and it's like, Tataru, most of this food is gonna spoil, like, halfway on our trip. But... maybe she put something magic on it, I don't know. So, alright, I'm calling it a little bit 10 minutes before time. Really good, really good. I'll see you on the next episode, and I really hope you have a good night.